guys, so another MoYu unboxing today, and this is actually a pretty cool one. And so we have a few new things in this one. Here we have the MF4s 4x4 from GuoGuan Classroom and the GuoGuan XingHen 2x2. So I'm pretty excited for the GuoGuan 2x2, so I'll just save that for last. And we'll just get into this MF4s first. Now, based on their releases, it seems like GuoGuan Classroom is trying to go for a whole budget line of 2 through 7s. So I'm not really sure if they'll release a 6x6, but that'll definitely be interesting to see. So I haven't really heard much about this 4x4, but just from the first looks, these are some really, really large flooring cut holes here. Yeah, so hopefully corner cutting won't be a problem, but let's just go ahead and we'll just see how this thing performs. Alright, well, you can see I'm getting a little bit of a catching and locking. I'm not really sure if it's because of the tensions. You know, it doesn't really seem that tight, honestly, but it feels really, really sluggish. You know, it's not a bad cube, but it's definitely not something that you would use in a comp. Yeah, it's just catching a lot and locking up. It just feels like there's a lot going on in the mechanism there, so I'll definitely have to check that out. I'm not sure if it's because my turning is just super inaccurate, but it doesn't really seem to be flowing super well. You know, the corner cutting itself seems like it's doing perfectly fine, actually. So, yeah, I'll definitely have to take a look at the mechanism just to see what's up. But as for the actual feeling, it feels almost like a budget Aosu. It has that kind of sandy feeling that the Aosu has, and it's also fairly fast too, but it feels like it's made of a bit of a harder plastic, so it's kind of like the Guansu and Aosu mixed together, if you will. So I believe this 4x4 goes for around the same price as the Guansu at $8 to $9 at some places, but I honestly can't decide which one I like better, just because both cubes have their ups and downs. This one, the problems out of the box are pretty obvious. It gets a lot of catches and lockups, and it honestly feels a little bit sluggish on the outer layers. But I do like the feeling of this cube more than the Guansu, just because it feels a little bit more modern. The Guansu didn't have these larger flooring cut holes, so it had a blockier feeling, and I also heard stories of people getting explosions on their Guansu, which I personally never experienced, but based on out-of-the-box impressions, this cube feels pretty intact. You know, it's not gonna pop or anything, but I'll definitely have to work with the settings that this cube is on, because the catches and lockups are the biggest issues I'm having with it right now. But as I'm turning this cube more and more, it's definitely breaking in a lot nicer. So I'll have to work with it and just see how it gets, and if my impressions on this change, I'll definitely let you guys know. Alright, so now let's get into this GuoGuan 2x2. So when MoYu first released the plans for this cube, there was just a lot of talk about it and a lot of curiosity built up. But let's just get into the turning and see exactly how this cube is. Whoa, definitely not at all what I was expecting. Wow, super, super fast. Wow, that is really nice. So I'm really liking this cube so far. The actual feeling is not at all what I was expecting. Just based on the GuoGuan XingHen, I had expectations for a hollower and crispier feeling cube, but this is just super, super smooth. It's almost like a Dian 2x2. It may sound a little bit clacky, but that's just when the flooring cut holes and these intersections kind of bump into each other. When you're just turning it like this, it's just super, super smooth. So it is fairly fast, but it's a little bit sluggish, so it's not really too uncontrollable. So we got a corner twist there. Yeah, this 2x2 is just super loose. So I'll definitely work with the setup here. The corner cutting is just super nice. Yeah, right, a little bit past 45, and it just does it so effortlessly. So I'm honestly not really sure if this is going to become my main or not. It is fairly nice out of the box, and I do enjoy the feeling, but the speed may just be a little bit too much for me. I'm not that great at 2x2, so something a little bit more controllable may work a little bit better for me. But I'll definitely have to set this cube up and just see how it breaks in. But based on my first impressions, definitely look into this cube because it is really nice out of the box so far. Alright guys, so it's been a few days since I've had these puzzles and I've gotten the chance to break them in and just get a little bit more familiar with them. I've set up the GuoGuan 2x2 and it's not as fast as I expected it to be, and it's at a really controllable pace, which is really nice, but the setup is honestly a little bit tricky. If you tighten it too much or just not enough, it can be either super unstable and just super loose, or too tight to the point that it becomes too sluggish. But once you get the tensioning down, it becomes a really nice cube and I'm really loving it so far. And the feeling is honestly something that really attracts me to this cube. It's really smooth, almost like the Dian 2i2. And as for the cubing classroom MF4s, it still needs a bit of work. I'm breaking it more and more now, but I'm still getting those catches and lockups that I experienced out of the box, and for the time being, I just really can't recommend it. It's honestly a great cube if you just want to solve a 4x4 at home for fun, but it's not reliable enough to be able to use in comp. So that about wraps it up for this unboxing. If you have a certain puzzle that you really want to see a review on, then let me know. But I hope you guys did enjoy this unboxing, and I'll see you guys in the next one.